Charles Leclerc and Lewis Hamilton finished 5th and 6th, but their cars both failed post-race technical checks. Alpine's Pierre Gasly has also been disqualified. Craig Slater is alongside me. Lots to get through then. Why have they all been disqualified?
Two separate rules breaches in the case of the two Ferrari drivers, both relating to the car dimensions, which have to follow a certain set of rules. It has to be an even contest for all the different teams. In Lewis Hamilton's case, it was the skid block underneath his car which was found to be worn too thin, worn thinner than the legal requirement, which is 9 millimetres, OK? So his was 8.5 millimetres thick. That's, I'll show you in a minute, it's basically the width of your ID pass, Rob, which I've just taken from you to illustrate that.
Make sure you don't show the picture.
I'll show that in a moment. But the reason they have that limit is to stop the cars running too low. If you can run your car close to the ground, it gives a competitive advantage. They have to set the benchmark somewhere. Why has that happened? Well, it's a sprint weekend. They're changing the setup of the car without practice sessions to properly monitor it. And just to double confirm while I've got this is your ID pass. Less than the width of this is the margin by which Lewis Hamilton has been disqualified from the Grand Prix today, but they have to draw the line somewhere, and the team accept there's no mitigating circumstances. In Charles Leclerc's case, there is a minimum weight for the cars, and that's because the lighter your car, the quicker it goes. It's set at 800 kilograms. Leclerc actually came in and his car was right on the limit. They noticed a bit's fallen off. He had a bit of contact with Lewis, so they put on a new wing. He was back heavier again. But then when they drained the fuel, and it's the dry weight of the car, he was a kilogram under, and that's a slam dunk disqualification. There are mitigating circumstances. We can talk about them in a moment, but it's the same rule that has seen Gasly also disqualified. That's the first time we've had 3 disqualifications like that in a Grand Prix since 2004, a while ago.
There is previous for both of these in F1 history, for disqualifications in both cases. I guess the question is, why would you run the risk? Maybe the answer is competitive advantage.
Yeah, yes, it's a mechanical sport. You've got to judge what the conditions of the race will be and then optimise the setup of your car as a result. What has probably caught Ferrari out here in the fuel weight case is the fact that it was thought to be a 2-stop race. So you'd be putting on a set of tyres in the final third of the Grand Prix. Those would wear less because they'd be newer, so they'd be heavier at the end of the race. There was also no safety car in this Grand Prix. That means you're burning fuel at a greater rate during the race. You'd burn more fuel. You'd end up with a lighter tank. So on those two circumstances have probably caught Ferrari out in Charles Leclerc's case. In Lewis Hamilton's case, it might be the fact that it was a sprint weekend. You are changing the car between these different sessions, competitive sessions. You don't have a qualifying session, a practice session to simulate the race properly with the track fully evolved. And so you don't have a steer on exactly how high the car should be. So those are the mitigating circumstances, but it's the same for everyone.